I want to give you an update on the Australian wildfires and also give you information on some things mainstream media usually won't talk about. Here's your over here on the left hand side. In fact, let me see if I can. I don't know if I can. It stays the same. But over on the left hand side, the dark red is the worst fires. The bright red is 2 to 6 hours old. Okay, it's mostly on the eastern side of Australia. Now I want to show you something that's interesting here, to me anyway. And I've been covering wildfires for a long, long time. I want you to notice where these wildfires are at. Oops. Let me see if I can get in closer. Yeah, that shows it up a little bit better. Okay. Wildfires down here, right next to cities. Melbourne, right next to, I don't know how to pronounce it, the other city, and Sydney's right here. And over here, they're right next to Brisbane. So that tells me the cities are playing a part in this somehow. I'll get more into that in just a second. Okay, so we've got that. Now let me take you to the, well, I'll get into the arson part of it right now, and then I'll get into the latest news and show you some video. Now, everybody these days is on the climate change bandwagon, and mainstream media is sure on that too, and I'll show you. The reason I'm showing you this, I'm living in California where the wildfires are at. And if you Google California wildfire arson, you get page after page of arsonists. And even the power companies are starting wildfires in Australia. I mean, in California. They're sparking wires or starting the wildfires here in California. And guess what, folks? The only state in the union where this is happening. Everybody else's power companies working just fine, not starting wildfires or anything. Only in California. Why is that? It's a miracle. Let me go on and show you what's going on here. Now, the climate change, everybody's on climate change. But guess who does the climate change? Humans. Human activity. Radioactive waste everywhere, pollution everywhere. Just killing. Humans are killing the earth. Okay, Australia fires. Is arson to blame? Watch what mainstream media does. Your questions about arson, travel, and recovery. 24 people are charged with arson. The viral false claim of 200 arsonists starting wild bushfires. That's because they want the climate change narrative. You got to remember, mainstream media is the mouthpiece of the powers that be. Australia's wildfires sparked disinformation battle. Let me. Bots and trolls spread false arson claims in Australian fire disinformation campaign. And I can tell you, folks, arsonists are rampant. Australia arrests dozens for starting bushfires. Let me go to the people that are reporting that 200 people, hundreds arrested for deliberately starting Australian bushfires. You know, they can't say that it's both of them that are starting the wildfires. It has to be climate change is starting it, or arson is starting it. It's both. But arsonists play a big part in this. And I can tell you that from past experience. Charged 24 people for starting bushfires. Why do we need to fact check claims about Australian bushfires? Officials 200 with arson. Now, if you want more information on that, you can go to my website and I call it wildfire terrorism. It's exactly what it is, too. You know what? What's happening today is people are under attack and they don't even know they're under attack. The virus, the wildfires, the mass shootings. Just go to my website if you want more information about this. Let me take you to the latest news. This is some footage. It says terrifying, this is from 45 minutes ago. Terrifying video shows Australian fire consuming area in under 3 minutes. I'll show it to you one more time here. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. You know, they mainstream media even reported 1 billion animals were killed. It's unbelievable what they're reporting. Let me go to here and show you a video. I think I can find it. Yeah, here's a. That's from Australia. The reason I call it wildfire terrorism is because of and I've got a category on my website called wildfire terrorism. It's at thefutureofnews.info. And the reason I call it terrorism is because of the arsonist. They're terrorizing people. The whole country's being terrorized. And something else I've discovered, it's a theory, but I'll say the theory while I'm still allowed to question things, which will probably be against the law soon, to even question the official narrative. My theory is that some of these multinational, well, the first thing you got to ask yourself with these wildfires, who benefits? Who benefits from these wildfires? Well, the multinational corporations do, number one. Got to rebuild everything, keep everything, get it back to working. They certainly benefit. Now, I wouldn't put it, whoops, I wouldn't put it past people and multinational corporations to hire thugs, send them in to start the wildfires, and then they benefit from it. I'm simply saying that is a possibility, and it is a possibility of what's happening. Now look at this. Where are the wildfires? Right next to cities. Right down there, next to a city. So keep a close eye on arson and wildfires. None of this isn't, in my view of what's going on, this isn't so much climate change as it is the powers that be attack on the world. You call it the deep state, call it the establishment, the powers that be, the 1%. That's what I think is happening. And the mass shootings, the wildfires, and now the virus, the largest human quarantine in human history, and it's getting worse. So sometimes things aren't what they seem, folks, and that's my job, is to ask questions while it's still legal to do it. So once again, if you'd like more information, just go to my website, thefutureofnews.info. And thank you all for watching.